Hi, my name is Jamani from Brooklyn, New York. Barebone.java.com GWT tutorial series. This tutorial covers the final stretch of our GWT setup and configurations. It's what have we successfully accomplished in setting up GWT? I'm going to close out the Firefox window and go into our browser. So at barebonejava.com, I've shown you the steps of setting up the GWT project from the GWT project or the GWT project, the manual way of doing it, instead of following the recommended approach that you get information at gwtproject.org. My technique was to give you a manual approach, a step-by-step approach of seeing how you configure your development environment. Because you might be in a workplace and you might want to go inside and really get in there and tweak the different configurations. So that's why I took the step. So we've used Kepler 4.3 to do our development in Eclipse. The Kepler version is 4.3. It's named the Eclipse version is version 4.3 and its name is Kepler. We also had to download Firefox 24 because of issue 8561, which we discussed, is that the dev mode is not going to be supported by Mozilla after Firefox 27. So that's what we covered in terms of downloading softwares and installing configurations. Next is the sandbox that I highly recommend that you always do. Have what you call a sandbox, or an area where you do all your development. The first directory in the sandbox is the binary, where we have all the executables. That is the actual Firefox executable, Eclipse executables, the App Engine configuration files that we need. There's another one, the actual GWT plugin, and physically download it on your machine so you can save it for later reference. And the next thing that we did download but never used is the actual GWT SDK. We didn't use it in this project, but the upcoming project we're going to be using it. So it has all the necessary jars to do the different configurations that we may need. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of jars here. What else did we do? So one more thing that we set up is also created a download space to save all our software. I would highly recommend you do this. For later on, let's say 5 years from now, you can go to exactly the software that we need to run this project. Because God knows I had to go download stuff that I couldn't find at the Firefox 24. It was like, took me a good 5 minutes to find where to download it. It wasn't so obvious. And finally, for Eclipse, we need a workspace. In this case, the workspace we created was Workspace GWT, which is our development environment where we put our sample project for GWT. So we got our application up and running, and that's good. So we also, along the way, when we got our application running, I showed you how to fix errors. Remember this? There was errors. I'm going to stop the server. There was errors in the projects. We had to go in and on the actual project properties and configure the compiler version to 1.7, and also change the project facet to 1.7. All right. So we built the application and ran it. So we did a good job of setting up our environment. So I want to say thanks to everyone who's hang out with me to follow through, all the folks who helped me build this applications, and all the users that are currently watching this video. And I should always give thanks for especially the people at google.com for creating such a great tool and SDK for creating front-end applications. The Google web, GWT. It's a awesome piece of software, and of course Eclipse is another awesome piece of software. Thank those all the developers, all the people in the community that help us get to this point. So if I don't mind if you please leave a comment, any suggestions about this tutorial, and I hope this tutorial helped you in this lesson helps you in doing GWT development. There will be more GWT tutorials on this site at barebonejava.com. One final notice I like to give is the copyright thing. GWT, GWT is a trademark of Google.com. Eclipse is a trademark of Eclipse.org. Firefox is a trademark of Mozilla.org. And whatever third-party software I mentioned has their own copyright. Why am I doing this? Of course, it's the right thing to do. These people did all the work, so they should get reference named for the work that they did, not me, not anybody else, but the owner of the application. So that's a good thing. So I probably won't be repeating this trademark thing, citation again. But thank you very much for hanging in there with me. Bye bye.